Welcome to the May 13th PACE Review Committee meeting. We'll start with a quick roll call. Jim Bartlett.
Karen Clausen.
Laura Lawson.
And with that, we'll get started. Before we start, though, there are a few things I think we need to explain so that everybody's on the same page. There are three types of grants that we'll be discussing tonight. There are rehabilitation grants, there are dilapidated structure grants, and there is an unsafe structure grant. Also, the city is broken into basically two different areas. There's what they call the target area. Target area is a relatively small portion of the city, but it's got a large number of properties in it that need to be worked on. The balance of the city is in the other section. The section that represents the biggest part of the city only has a small amount of money left, and that section will run out of funds tonight, almost guaranteed. At the beginning of the year, we anticipated that this would happen. And so at the beginning of the year, we voted on a decision that on the evening that we run out of funds in either section, the section that we run out of funds in will be funded based on highest score for that application, not based on when the applications were turned in. And when I talk about the scores, each application, as we talk to you, each one of us will individually and separately be filling out a score sheet for that application. Those score sheets will be totaled up separate from the three of us, and that will be the score that that individual gets. So her score plus my score plus his score divided by 3 gives you the average score, and that average score is the score of your application. Again, for those applications that are in the largest portion of the city, the highest scores will be funded first, and we'll work our way down until we run out of money based on the qualifying applications. Having said that, so that you're aware, 36 is the minimum qualifying score for any application that we get. You're welcome to hang around till the end of the meeting when the scores are presented back to us. You're not required to. Once we have gotten those scores and we've made a motion as to which applications to fund, and again, we'll fund based on highest score for that section that's going to run out of money. We don't actually do the funding. What we're doing is making a recommendation to the Board of Public Works. The Board of Public Works will then take our application and move on that application, on our recommendation. Typically, they approve whatever our recommendation is, but certainly because they are the final step, they have the ability to override that. That'll happen, I believe, next Monday at their meeting. You are not required to be at that meeting. You'll be notified if you receive a grant after that meeting. But as with any public meeting, you're welcome to attend that meeting. I'm sure what I have just told you is clear as mud, so if anybody has any questions, certainly ask them. And if not, then we'll go ahead and get started and move down to our first application. Our first application is a rehabilitation project for 401 East 2nd Street. Is somebody here to represent that application? Okay, if not, we'll come back around to that in case that person's running late. So that brings us to 523 Jefferson Street. Is anybody here to represent that application?
Hello.
Good evening. Tell us about your project.
Okay, my project is, I live on 523 Jefferson Street, and I'm wanting to do gutter work, the board, and paint the siding of the house, and re-chalk windows, and repair 2 windows, and point a rock wall that goes around my house. Some of it's falling out, and that's about it.
Okay.
Ms. Stone, on this project, how visible is this from Jefferson Street?
It's right on the main part, like when you come up from American Legion,
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there and I sit up on the hill.
Okay. Is it visible from Fourth as well?
Yes,
It's on the corner, isn't
it's
it?
right on the
Yes, it's
corner.
on the corner.
Yeah.
And my windows are in your book.
Yeah. That's your residence, correct?
Right.
There's no new features, you're not replacing anything.
No, just going to scrape the paint off and repaint it.
Great pictures.
Thank you.
How long have you been in that property?
I bought it in 2011.
It says here that looks like there's a leak on the roof, is that right?
There's a flat part on the side, and I had a new roof put on, but still on that one flat, it's real flat. It kind of drains inside my dining room.
Okay.
Where that bay window is?
Mhm.
On this repairing of the 2 windows, is that just recaulking or is that
Well,
actually
he
replace
said something about recaulking, but it kind of fell down from the glass.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The frame did or the,
Yeah, the bottom part of it did.
Any other questions, Champ?
no, sir?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, 414 East Third.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Tell us about your project.
So about 414 East 3rd Street, about 5 months ago, and it's got a lot of cracks on the outside. There's some masonry that's coming apart. It's got some busted windows in it. I'm just hoping to, I've hired a contractor, Steve Land, local stonemason, who's gonna be able to re-tuck point all that, and hopefully get the windows replaced as well.
And paint?
Pardon?
Aren't you painting?
Yes. I have Dustin Cutshaw's from Cutshaw's Contracting who's going to paint it.
You said windows replaced?
Yes, they're busted.
I
On the front or the side?
One in the front and one
Oh,
in the
I
back.
see the one in the front,
Did
yeah.
you keep that off of the worksheet here?
Pardon?
On the worksheet? I don't see it listed.
Oh, I think my primary concern was the masonry, because it's so bad.
Okay.
Is that house on the alley?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is this your personal residence?
The one next door to it is, we ended up buying the property there at 414 from a local landlord, and due to complaints with my new neighbors that I have and the police being called there, I bought that house. And we're hoping down the road, it looks like they were at one point in time, they were joined together. I think we're hoping to maybe do that down the road because they're so tiny.
Okay, in the meantime,
In the meantime, it needs a full-blown renovation inside and out. It's completely trashed.
So are you gonna sell it then afterwards? Are you gonna keep it as investment property?
But we're gonna keep it, hopefully combine the two for one home.
so for it to be your personal
Yes,
residence?
yeah.
And I think you mentioned, when did you purchase the property?
This one was in December,
In December, okay.
yes.
So this project, what's the visibility of it? Where can you see it at? If I was walking down the street,
Oh, this thing is right, it's the house, 8-foot sidewalk, and then there's the street.
Right
there.
on it.
There's no yard, nothing in front of him.
And it is on the alley,
mm-hmm.
so.
That's why I was asking.
Thank you very much, sir.
Great, thank you.
That brings us to 1030 Park Avenue.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us about your property, if you
So,
would.
1030 Park Avenue has been a vacant home for 30 to 40 years now. It sits right on actual Main Street 56/Park Avenue and goes to First Street on the backside. It's been considered a dilapidated home, and we are doing a total renovation for a single-family residence.
And when it's done, will it be your all's residence, or are you
Correct.
going to sell it, or
Nope, we're living in it.
you're
4
living-
boys.
Oh, boy.
So it has, I applied originally, you may see on the worksheet some concrete work because we did have to do concrete to the front and the back due to drainage issues that were causing severe damage to the foundation. We went ahead and did that, so I understand that doesn't apply now. But in order to secure the property and make sure that it wasn't going to be dilapidated anymore, we went ahead and did that because of the water intrusion. All the windows that were in it, at some point, somebody did put in replacement windows, but they also did severe damage when they took out a lot of windows and doors, and the bricks started to collapse because they did not put in proper beamwork. So some of the third and second floors have all shifted down, and majority in the rear part of the house. So we're replacing all the windows again because majority of them are broke or dysfunctional because they've been wobber-jawed so bad, including new steel beams to properly carry the load in which they took out brick
So
that
where,
supported it.
are they, will the beams be inside then or outside?
So if you look now from I've submitted pictures of it, there are some wood beams in there that were not original, that you can see from interior and exterior on the rear side of the house, on both the south wall and what faces east wall. And that's where primarily all the bricks have shifted down and causing severe structural issues. So we're putting steel beams in place of those because the one where they replaced it with a French door and side lights, we're going back and leaving a French door but filling it in some more with brick. And the other one where they took out 2 windows and opened up the entire space, 16-foot spans, we're going to replace that with a solid beam. But we have approval from the historic board to do an addition on the back side of that house. So you won't necessarily see those beams from the street view because you're going to see the new addition, but that's what's structurally necessary to resupport the floor above due to what they've already done damage-wise.
So can you see the back of the house from,
You can see the rear from First Street right now.
is it First or it is First Street that's
Well,
back there?
yes, it's First Street, but like First Street didn't go that far, but now it does go that far. They extended First Street down
Okay.
behind our house, yes. And then we're replacing all the doors because none of the doors are functioning. The stone, we're re-tuck pointing all the stone and because you can see through it. And it's about 19 inches thick are those walls, 3 brick course. And so we're redoing a lot of the brick. All the exterior brick will be sourced brick for the time period as much as we can. And again, the windows, the appearance should look more like the head and bend when we're completed with it, as far as the design style goes.
And that was historic the last meeting, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah. Oh, our project, yes. I
Yes.
thought you were referring to head and bend. I was
No,
not aware of that
your
one. Yes.
project.
Yes, our project was the last historic meeting.
And you do have a unsafe certificate from the inspector, as I
Yes,
understand it.
He was completing that. Well, we purchased it in March,
Mhm.
and it hadn't fully been designated, so I called him down there, and he went through all his motions and said, oh, yeah, absolutely, this one checks the boxes. So I haven't
Yeah.
seen the actual certificate, though.
I drive by it every day to go to work, and I was so excited when I saw that someone, was working on it.
Yes,
'Cause
it's a huge project.
Well, it really has a lot of character, though. It's a
It
new
does.
house.
I'm pretty excited to take on the challenge, but the blood is oozing out every time I turn around. We are trying to keep it from the front side, street side. It will look very traditional to the character. From the back side with this addition, we're going to have some glass, more windows that will be put in to capture the river views that there are. But yeah, it's just the overall structure itself. The brick and the stone was really starting to deteriorate because it sat so long with what modifications had been done, whether or not, I don't know before my time if those were approved or not approved or who did it, but they were not done correctly at all. So we're having to go back and clean some things up.
You're good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay?
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone here for 204 East Street?
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Melanie Harrell.
Tell us about your project.
So we acquired 204 East Street in February, I believe, and we are aware that it needs a lot of work to get back to the appropriate structure that it needs. The entire front porch that you can see from East Street will have to be removed. There's pictures included there where the floor on the second level is completely rotted. There's metal up underneath the ceiling of the lower level porch, which provides the ceiling on the first level, and it's not, I don't think, in the guidelines to be metal there, but it's definitely got to all come off, and we have to replace all that.
Is it a duplex?
No, it is a single residence.
I only asked that because of the back steps going up made me think.
Yeah. The back steps actually go up to the porch on the top, and at one point it had railing around it so that you could have a river view from the top.
Gotcha.
But the railing has been taken down at some point and is obviously gone, and then the flooring there is rotted, so it's not safe. We're not going out there yet.
What are you gonna use it for rental, or are you gonna live in
Yes,
it?
it'll be a rental
Investment?
or investment property.
Gotcha.
And then underneath, on the first level, if you can see possibly by the pictures, the front sidewalk there under the porch is about 3 or 4 feet wide. There's not a lot of space there, and there's about a foot drop off. From the concrete, there's just a big open space that's got to be filled with something. We're going to use treated wood there to level that out, because it's a hazard right now to fall off the porch.
I know that you're repairing the porch, but are you you're keeping the porches in the same dimensions and all of that,
Yes,
correct?
yes. The only thing that we will add is just the bottom wood area to extend that concrete porch air where you walk out from the door. It'll just come out about 3 more feet, but it'll be the same dimensions of the porch now. The railing that's there goes to that section, but there's just a gap in the flooring. It's just dirt.
Because it's a fence, really. So you're talking in between the fence and,
In the porch, there's a
Gotcha.
huge gap to fall into. I don't know if that used to have shrubs or something that had been taken out at one point, but it's about a foot drop off.
And you all picked up this property in, did you say February?
Yes, I believe so.
I didn't write in my notes the visibility. Is this just seen from the work that's being done? Will it be seen just from East Street?
I believe so.
Good.
good.
Thank you very much. Okay, 613 West Second.
Good evening, I'm Sally Plass. I'm the owner. It is not my own personal residential property, but I have another property here that is a residence, and I purchased it originally for it to be a home for my elderly mother, and that didn't get to happen, and so it will not be my personal residence, but it's not a commercial rental home either. My brother will be renting it from me.
What color is it?
Oh, I know, it's
Is it
kinda-
purple or is it green?
It's eye-catching. Actually, this is not a good picture for the color. It's actually a brighter green color.
Because if you Google it, it is the brighter, yeah, the green.
Yes, when you Google it, it's better, yes. My printer wasn't very accurate. I did want to point out that we discovered the necessary repairs that were needed when one board popped out in that picture that I provided. And then once we got up there to have it repaired, we realized then there was more rotted wood. And some of the siding in different parts of the house I knew were going to be close to having needing repair. So at this time, I would go ahead and just repair all of it and then have it repainted. It's time for that. So I included the work that I had already done prior to submitting this application. I submitted that receipt just so that you would know I had already done that part. I understand that the house was, the center part of the house, I know it's from 1900, but it was a big tree had crashed down in the middle of the house. So as far as I know, it's not covering up any of the original architectural features. I've not been able to find a picture that shows it any differently, but I'm repairing what's there now currently. I think the main structure of the house was rebuilt and repaired this in the same original state. Obviously, the insides are nice and new. We still have the old floors.
When did you become the owner of the property?
Almost 5 years ago.
Okay.
It was originally designed to have an alley between that house and the next one to it. And the alley stops across the street from it. We don't have an alley there anymore. It's not a public right-of-way. But it is visible from 2nd Street and 1st Street, in front and behind. Behind it is the visitor center.
Okay. You good?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
.209 West Main Street.
Hey, yeah, my name's Keith Collins, and I'm here representing Kentuckiana Commercial Holdings, and we own and operate the building at 209 West Main Street. It is a commercial building with 2 residences on the top that are used as rentals. It is my office, so that is where I spend most of my time for work. And basically what we're looking to do is paint the exterior of the building and do any tuck pointing or anything that comes up that we need to do on that. We also need to refurbish the exterior door. We have an entrance to the apartments that you can kind of see that looks pretty rough. So we need to refinish that. And then there's also like a landing that could use some attention. And then we're also going to, the building does have an iron facade, and so we need to paint that to make sure that it stays preserved. And I think that's everything I got. And it is very visible. It's right on Main Street, kind of right next to, we're between Datillo's and Mun Candy.
So you're painting all the way up then?
Yes.
Are you going to replace that door completely? Is that what your intention is?
No, we're going to plan on just kind of refurbishing what's there already.
Put glass back in, or?
Yeah, and it's got some holes that need to be filled in and stuff from like old locks and all that.
Can you see it from the alley? In the back?
You can, yes, but it's not, I mean, not not a whole lot. I mean, there's 3 buildings before you get to ours. So you can see, like, we have like a stairway on the back, like an emergency exit. You can see that a lot more than the building, I would say.
But the improvements that you're making, will they be seen from the back?
No, those will not.
And you all have had that property for quite some time, haven't you?
Yeah, I think April 20th, 2022.
Ready?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Have anybody here for 757 Jefferson Street?
Good evening. I'm Floyd Mathis, and I own the house at 757 North Jefferson Street. That's my residence, and I want to put all new windows and 2 new storm doors. And after I get that accomplished, I'm going to put fresh paint on the exterior. And I bought that house in, I think, mid-August of 2022. And I've done quite a bit of work on it since I bought it, so got a lot more to do to it, but I need to get the windows and the storm doors on it before I can continue with some of the other stuff.
Which windows are you replacing?
I'm replacing all the windows,
All around the house?
all around the house, yeah.
Okay. How many are
Two new
visible
storm-
there from Jefferson Street?
All of them except for 2 on the backside. And in the wintertime, when there's no leaves on the trees, you can see the house from 421.
Those windows are going to be similar to what has
Yes,
been there historically?
yes, they are, yes.
So from the back alley, it looks like you can see one of the windows. It looks like you've got a garage and then up in the corner area up here.
I think that's a
I can't
cross
tell
the
if it's a
street.
window.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
You talking about the garage that's across the road from my house? Yeah, coming, let me see.
That's the house across the street from mine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you're coming, because Jefferson Street's dead ends. If you go down, turn around, come back up, you can see all the windows on the north end of the house.
Okay.
The only windows you can't see are the 2 in the back, and one of them's a bedroom window, and the other one's a living room window.
Gotcha.
All the rest of them you can see, and then the front of the house where the kitchen and everything is, you can see if you're coming up 421 from American Legion, you look up for Jefferson Street, you can see the front of my house.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone from 313 East Street? Okay. Come back to that one in case they come in late. That brings us to 618 East 2nd Street. We'll give that one more chance. 835 West 3rd Street. And 611 West 2nd Street.
Oh, wow, that one's really good.
Hello, my name is Susan Eckert, and my sister left me her home at 611 West 2nd Street. I currently, right now, live in Indianapolis, but plan on moving back down once I get the house together. And what I would need help for, the house was built, I believe, in like 1848, and so the windows are pretty well shot. The storms, I mean, you just get air, blowing through them and things like that. And we were going to go, I'm with Rodney Pettit, and we were going to go with aluminum clad windows, the same look and everything. And then it would be the first, when you look at the house straight on from West 2nd Street, it's the first 4 windows that you see of the house. And then I also need to have tuck pointing done on the side of the house. It's majorly got a lot of holes and cracks and everything in it.
And you're going to live in it as your primary residence?
Yes, I will be once it's
Livable.
I got lots of work to do.
When did it become your house?
I put my sister in memory care probably about 2 years ago. I've done work on the back of the house because it was really kind of falling in, and the back porch, because that had to be done. We were afraid everything was gonna, birds were living in it, and it was fun.
Have you already gone to historic board on the windows? Okay, staff approved, good.
And that particular property, obviously it's visible from the street.
Yes.
Is it visible from another street or from an alley?
First street behind it, the visitor center is right behind me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's part of the area where you're going to be doing some of the repairs?
I've already done a lot to the back of the house. The front of the house is what I'm, asking
Is what we're
for.
talking about today?
Yes, is at the
Okay.
front.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we had 4 that folks weren't here. I haven't noticed anyone coming in. Well, I'll run back down through them in case somebody slipped in and I didn't see them. 401 East 2nd Street. 313 East Street. 418 East 2nd Street. 835 West 3rd Street. Okay. Well, with that, give us a few minutes while she totals scores up, and then we'll be able to see how the various projects scored and determine what can and can't be funded.
Could I say something, please?
Certainly.
I forgot to mention why I'm changing all the windows out. The majority of them are painted shut and are rotted out at the bottom. I forgot to mention that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's why they're getting switched out.
Okay, I have totals if you're ready.
You ready for totals?
Yep, I'm ready. Are you ready
Yes,
for
sir.
totals? Okay.
Okay, so, do you want me to read off the ones that didn't show up too?
Yeah, so we can keep them in
Okay.
order.
So 401 East Second, nothing. 420, or I'm sorry, 523 Jefferson, 36.67. 414 East Third, 33.67. 1030 Park Ave, 45. 204 East Street, 43.3. 613 West Second, 35.3. 209 West Main, 30.67. 757 Jefferson, 33. 313 East, nothing. 618 East Second, nothing. 835 West Third, nothing. 611 West Second, 38.67.
Okay, we had several applications that did not reach the minimum score. Those applications would be 414 East Third, .613 West Second, .209 West Main, .757 Jefferson, and of course the applications that were not represented tonight. So
Those were all rehabilitation.
those were, yes, they were, no. Well,
Out of the ones that received scores, those were rehabilitation, correct?
well, the 414 is a rehabilitation, but it's in the target zone,
Correct.
so.
Okay, gotcha, I see what you're saying.
Okay, so it appears to me that in the target zone bucket, the only application, if I'm reading this right, that qualified was 1030 Park Avenue.
1030 Park Avenue is dilapidated.
That was dilapidated. That falls into the target zone money numbers. And then in the rehabilitation group, 523 Jefferson Street with a score of 36.67.
West Second.
204 East Street qualifies with a score of 43.3.
West Second.
611 West Second qualifies with a score of 38.67. So in that group of money, we only have $9,039 available. So the high score, 204 East Street, was applying for $7,500. Which leaves $1,539 available for the second place score, which was
611 West Second Street.
611 West Second Street. Are you coming up with the same numbers I'm coming up with?
I came up with those same numbers.
So you're coming up with the same numbers I am. Okay. So I would accept a motion that we recommend fully funding 1030 Park Avenue because it was in the dilapidated group, and then fully funding 204 East Street and partially funding 611 Second Street. Do we have a motion to do that?
Yes, I make the motion. Chris said.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that concludes our scoring and funding recommendation to Board of Public Works. Moving forward for the balance of the year, we do have still money available for properties in the target zone or dilapidated or unsafe properties. The balance of the city at this point is out of funds unless funds come from somewhere to restore that funding, but I don't anticipate that. We will receive new funding for all of the categories on January 1st, and those applications for January will be due in December. Do we have any questions from anyone? Okay. I would accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for attending.
How did we run out so quick? Did we run out this fast last year? We did, didn't we?
Well, last year we had
Ms.
more.
Stone?
We had more.
Last year we had more money.